Let's talk real quick about this HEX conference. It's insane. We may have double the viewers right now if it weren't going on. So totally understand if people are over there watching that. I'm not sure who's on right now. But what has kind of stood out to you so far? What are your overall thoughts on it? We were going to talk about some of the not so savory comments by a couple people regarding the conference. I don't know if you still want to do that because I don't really have much time for it really anymore. But I just want to say that what Matti is doing is freaking insane. Whether there are people now stepping up to help him, from liquid loans and things like that, or not, what he's doing is no small undertaking. And what we have here, regardless of like, oh, the liquid loan symbol is a little bit bigger than the HEX symbol or whatever else you want to complain about, this just isn't happening in crypto. I'm sorry. This isn't happening in other crypto communities. And I understand some people might have like legitimate little beefs about like, well, I just think it should only be about HEX and this shouldn't be okay. You're not running the conference. You can run one if you want to. And I just think it's phenomenal that we have something like this because this just is not happening in crypto. I mean, show me where else this occurs. Yeah, they're going for a Guinness World Record for amount of streamers on at one time. Tonight, is it tonight? When is that actually happening? I don't know.
I don't know either, but I will tell you this. I've been in Matti's presence while he was running the live conference in Vegas. And I know he has never really made any money. I mean, he does this out of the kindness of his heart. Yeah. He will make enough to break even, pay for some things that they need. But he is very selfless. He does it for the benefit of everybody. And anybody that tries to say, well, I don't know why they're taking sponsors. Well, they got to pay the bills, man. He needed a few things. And they agreed to do it. And why not? They've built on Pulse Chain. A lot of those guys from Liquid Loans are from HEX. So it all ties together. Like we're all in the same corner here. And, I see nothing wrong with it. If anything, people should be thanking him for the hours and hours that it takes. I don't know. I can only imagine trying to coordinate everybody, get them in there, get them in the green room, make sure they're ready to go while you're trying to set up the next one. People are in and out or doing what it's got to be a madhouse. It's like herding cats, I'm sure. I can't even imagine it. I mean, the guy is so selfless and he does a lot. He's been doing this for over, I think, I don't know, almost probably 100 weeks, probably almost 2 years of his every week show. And then to do this on top of it, yeah, Matti deserves a lot of credit. He deserves a big shout out. People need to thank him for what he's doing for the benefit of the community. It's amazing. It's selfless. And he just does not get enough credit for it. So I will personally say thank you for all you do, Matti. You're a pillar in the community, and it often goes without being said, unfortunately.
I agree 100%. And there's been so much good content because that was another criticism I saw. And again, I don't want to concern myself with those too much, but people like, how much does a conference all about HEX with a bunch of people who are already in HEX really help growth or anything? Just because of the fact that it exists, man. I mean, like this isn't happening anywhere else,
Yeah.
And sure, like, I mean, there are certainly people within this community, just like any community, that are assholes. It's just the way it is, that aren't the best at like maybe potentially onboarding or presenting what the product is in a nice way to other people or something like that. Yeah, there are people like that. I totally agree. And, you can't speak for everybody when you talk about the community all the time.
Yeah.
But what you're seeing in this is largely not fluff. I mean, you and I have watched. I've skipped through some. I haven't watched every pure second of the whole entire thing. But there's not a lot of fluff. There's been some fantastic segments.
Yeah.
Alex McWhirter and Dipcatcher the other day.
Yeah.
I feel like our little fireside chats, those two guys would have fit right in. Alex looks like he's right out of our neck of the woods, actually. Yeah. But there's just been some great segments. Axis Alive. I'm trying to think of some of the other really good ones that I've seen. The Crypto Coffee with Fashion Coder and Corey Costa that I saw just this morning from yesterday. I mean, there's just been so much good stuff. It's fantastic. I mean, like all of this happening right now is just really bullish. And the fact that these people will not go away, just the fact that they exist and this is going on, is a bullish thing. It doesn't matter that it's like, oh yeah, you're invested in it, so you're talking about it. Well, yeah. And they're not just talking about Hex either. I mean, they're talking about other things built on top of it and other things that make it great. So
and why they're built. And when I was watching the other night live, there were over 800 people live watching. So you can't tell me these algorithms aren't pushing it out to other people. You have to you have to realize that there are other people just Hexicans that are watching this. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I totally agree. Is there a segment, maybe I took them all from you, but is there a segment or anything that stuck out in your mind of like some of the favorite stuff you've seen so far?
No, not I won't say a favorite. I've enjoyed a lot of the ones that I've been able to tune in for. There was a good one last night that had RG3, Kodiak, who else was on that? Cabana, and
I know which one you mean, but
either way, it was good to kind of see Kodiak is the builder of Communis token. So
yep.
So it's kind of interesting how they twisted that one to say, no, dude, because he has trouble explaining it to people. He built it, and he has trouble telling people what it's all about. And it was cool to see Cabana and RG both say, hey, look, man, you build it. You're the big brain. We'll explain it. Once we figure it out, we'll be the ones that can explain. Oh, it was KG.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, it just hit me as soon as you were recounting it. Yeah. So I don't know how we forgot him. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, all of a sudden these guys are talking and, KG brings up the point where every transaction on Internet Wallet burns Hex. And they're like, what? I didn't know that. I don't know. Did you know that? Did you know that?
I zoned. I was reading a comment. I admit it. I zoned out on what you asked. What'd you say?
Did you know that every transaction on Internet Money burns Hex?
No. I did hear him say that too. Yeah, RG3 flipped out about that one. He's like, why isn't that the first thing that you say? Yeah.
So, I mean, even as Hexicans, as day one Hexicans, man, we still learn stuff. So, I don't know. People complain about it being whatever, circle jerk and only the Hex people. I still learn. I enjoy learning. I like to hear from people I don't always hear from. And I like to support them. So, yeah.
I agree.
That's all I got to say about that one.